What's going on, my little bundle of chestnuts? It's your girl, Kate Winchester here, and this story I'm about to tell you, I kind of already said, but I deleted it because I kept saying the people's names, and then I was like, probably shouldn't publish that, so I deleted it, and I'm gonna retell it because it's still happening, kind of. So, if you guys see a bunch of rumors about me on Instagram, they are not true, and I'm about to give you the truth of what happened. Now, the thing is, before this video begins, I'm not leaving YouTube at all. Like, my channel is still going to be on, my Instagram's still going to be active, but I'm going to this place called Job Corps, and it's where I'm going is in Utah, and they don't want me to make videos while I'm there, but they allow me to come home every summer and every winter, and they told me that while I'm at home I can publish videos, but then when I'm gonna go back I have to like not publish on YouTube at all. So, but my DMs will still be open on Instagram, and the only reason why I'm leaving is because I need to get the fuck out of my dad's house. And it's just like, you don't know what's going on behind the camera, like when the camera's not on. And I'm not saying that I'm being abused or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, we fight a lot and it's not very pretty at all, and just not something I want to get into. So I'm ready to move, and the only way that I can do that is through Job Corps, because I've tried to move in with a friend and stuff happened, and I guess they didn't get the apartment, but they really did, and that was just her way of saying she didn't want me to move in. I don't know what the fuck happened. I didn't do anything. I don't think so. She never told me I did anything wrong. But that's just not the point. And then I tried to go on apartments, like I went on Zillow and searched, and then the only way that I can afford moving into my apartment is with the job, and nobody in my area is hiring, and I need to move out like now. So Job Corps is the only place that is free that I can move into, and I'm going to be very, 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 very busy, because Job Corps is a training facility, but at the same time it helps you get your diploma if you don't have it, or your GED if you don't want a diploma but you want something to get a job with. I already graduated, so I'm just there for the training. And the thing that's really cool about it is they don't have any tuition, so I just go. And they basically told me that I can go, I just have to do a lot of paperwork and stuff. And then as soon as that's processed, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. And I would be lying through my fucking teeth if I said that this wasn't the craziest thing I've ever done, or the scariest thing that I've ever accepted, or but like, who am I if I don't seize my moment? Not somebody that I want to be. So, and I know that this is very hard. Sorry. This is very hard and very scary, because I'm moving away from everything I love and everything I know. And I can't do the only thing that keeps me sane while I'm there. You guys are my security blanket. You guys literally saved me. Like, without you guys, I would be dead. I'm not even fucking exaggerating at all. When I first filmed my first video in freshman year, I was a very, very sad and lonely little girl, and I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that I would be dead right now if it wasn't for you. And the fact that I'm gonna move away and leave when my channel is growing, and when the chestnut community, and when I'm getting more and more children, is just, it's scary. It really is. Like, I'm moving away from my mom, whom I cannot go to sleep without calling, and I'm moving away from everything I know. My best friend is here, my high school is here, my friends are here, my mom is here. My girlfriend is here. Everything I know is here, and I'm gonna be out on my own in the big scary world, and I'm so scared. But there's gonna be good things that come out of it too, so I'm excited for that, and I'm so sorry. And I thought that I could tell you a story, that way I can tell you this news without it hurting as much as it does. I don't think there's anything I can do to make it not hurt as much as it does, and I'm so sorry. I can't stay here any longer. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to be here longer than I have to be, and it's not anything that my parents did or anything like that. It's just, I'm 18 years old, I'm stir crazy, and my family and I fight a lot because of how stir crazy I am, and we don't see eye to eye all the time, and there are some pretty hurtful things that get thrown around a lot, and I can't take it anymore. So I feel like with life I'm so fucking exhausted, but like, so this is gonna be better in the long run, and I promise you that my channel is still gonna be up and running. I'm not gonna delete anything other than videos that are cringy as fuck. And I'm gonna still be on Instagram, just not doing live streams because, again, they don't want me posting anything about the facility or anything while I'm in the facility, so I wouldn't be able to do live streams on Instagram anymore, which breaks my heart all over again. But just know that I will always be in the DMs, and I will always be available to talk if you guys need to talk, because you saved my life and I want to return the favor. And I'm not like I've never wanted to be a YouTuber where I'm just like, kiss my fucking toes, like I get to do this all the time, like bow down, children. I fucking love every single one of you. I love what I do. I love that I got my channel monetized, and the only reason why I got it monetized was because I thought that if I had money coming in really fast, then I could move out, and then we could have our own film schedule, and we could do whatever the fuck we wanted. But unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, and I wish I would have known, and I wish that I didn't feel so stupid. And I just feel like this is the craziest decision I've ever made in my life, but I'm still, and I would be lying through my fucking teeth if I said that I wasn't so fucking scared. In fact, I am terrified. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I just don't like feeling that way, but I'm scared, man. I'm scared. But I know that I'm doing the right thing, and I love you guys. If there's one thing I know, it's that I love you guys, and that I always will, and there's nothing that could ever change that. And I mean, yeah, I get hate comments all the time, and sometimes they really cut deep, and sometimes they make me cry, and sometimes they make me doubt myself, but there's a lot more positivity on this channel, and I fucking love it. I love how the positivity outweighs the negativity, and it's amazing. And you guys are awesome as hell, and I love every single one of you. So, now that that's out there, I think we can continue on in the story. I just need to gain my composure. Okay, alright, I think I'm ready to continue. That's disgusting. So, anyway, I think I was talking about this girl, A. Yeah, well, she was so, like, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Okay, I'm just gonna start over with A. Alright, so I met this girl when last year she was a freshman, and the only reason why I took her under my wing was because I know what it was like to be a freshman and be scared and just like, where the fuck am I kind of thing. And I just thought I would go up to her and say hi and just be friendly. I'm very bubbly and outgoing and friendly. I will always try to make somebody feel welcome. If there's anything that I like about myself, it's that. It's that I'm very kind and friendly, and I'm just like, hi, how are you? Like, my name's Amberlee, what's your name? And she told me her name. We're just gonna call her A for the sake of this video. So A was like, I'm good, how are you? And she told me her name, and I told her my name was Amberlee. And then I asked her if she wanted to sit next to me and my friends. And when I met A, I also met somebody whom we're gonna call Travis. Travis was also a freshman, and his birthday was really early. It was something like September or something. So because his birthday was really early, he was a 13-year-old freshman, and I thought that was so crazy and so cool. And so I introduced the two of them, hoping that they would date because I'm like a matchmaker here. And they did date for like 3 days, and then they decided that they'd be better off as friends, and I agreed, and so there's that. So our group slowly grew, and we had 2 more freshmen, 2 sophomores, and then 2 seniors, and then 1 junior, I think. Yeah. So we were all a pretty happy group, and I'm not even going to try to count how many of us there were, but the group kind of grew over the year, and then I met 1 senior. His name was Jack. And I'm saying his name because you guys have met him before. And the way I am smiling right now is because he is awesome. Like, he is amazing. And he just was there for me for like a lot of the things that the freshmen couldn't really help me with. And it's not just because they were stupid and they didn't know. It was just because he had more experience. You know what I mean? Like, he was very he just had more, like, you know, like, I know how you're feeling kind of thing. Like, let me try to talk to you about it. He was pretty cool. So the reason why all these people are important, trust me. And so we all started hanging out, and then I feel like A just got more jealous now that I'm looking back on it, because at first it was just her and I, like, for the whole entire year. Like, it was like for the first month of the year, maybe it was just her and I and Travis. And so I think as the group got bigger, I think when I started hanging out with each one individually, because I try to spread my time, I try to be like, you know, I'm not gonna hang out with everybody or like nobody at all. Like, I'm just very, you know, you're my friend, I'll hang out with you, you're my friend too, like, I'll hang out with you kind of thing, you know. And I feel like A just wanted it her and I and Travis or nobody at all. Like, I think that was her thing too. So Travis had a very disturbing past, and I'm not gonna say why exactly, but he was telling us that his chest was a trigger, and he was telling us why, and it was this very sad story that broke my heart, and every time I even think about it, it makes me want to cry. So A's listening, and she just goes, you mean like this? And just full on grabs both of her hands and goes like that and touches his chest really fast and hard. And he just was taken aback, and he grabbed her wrist, and he's like, what the fuck did I just tell you? And A just was like, don't touch me! Not even kidding you. That's how she said it. Like, literally, full on, like a fucking 5-year-old, just don't touch me! Hands, a little extra wine at the end, full on, like, how old are you? How old are you? Like, I am so sassy, and when it comes to my friends, I'm like really, really, really protective. I am fucking the mom of the group. I'm mama bear, especially when 2 friends are younger than me. I'm like square up, you know? So I was like, why did you do that? Like, you know, and then she did that annoying ass whine, and I was like, how old are you? How old are you? And then Travis was like, I think maybe 5, 6. And she stomped off, and I just I went like this to Travis to see if I could give him a hug, and he just went for it and gave me a hug. And I just kind of was like, whenever I hug somebody, I do this with their head, especially if they're younger, and if they're crying especially, but if they're crying, I go like this, or just do a head pat. And I was doing that, and I was like, it's okay, like, I'm so sorry that she did that to you, man, like. And Travis is like, it's cool, like, I expected it. And I was like, then why did you? He was like, it was a test. And I was like, so did that really happen to you? And he said, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, man. Like, and then I cried for him, and he just felt sad that I cried. Like, and then and all throughout the day, A realized, oh shit, I fucked up. But she didn't really feel sorry, you know what I mean? Like, it was like she knew what she did, she just didn't want to lose her friends. And so she was just kind of like, you know, she walked up to me, and she was just like, why am I the bad guy? And I was like, Billie Eilish, did you not realize what you just did? And she's like, and she was just like, well, like, I was just trying to help him, like, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I was just trying to help him, like, I don't understand why you're so mad at me. And she sounded like a fucking nutcase. And I mean, same though, but but she just sounded like she had no idea what the fuck she did. She didn't know right from wrong. She had no idea, which just pissed me off even more. I'm like, you know, it would be one thing if she was like, hey, I realized what I did. I don't know why I did it. It was wrong. I'm sorry. Like, let me make it up to both of you. But instead, she was like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what the problem is. And I was just like, you know, so I was just like, I need a minute. I need a minute. And she just kind of stormed off and then told all of her choir friends that I'm the bad guy. Duh. But I'm not even fucking kidding you. Everybody was just kind of looking at me like, because as she put it, Travis and I just kind of told her that we didn't want to talk to her anymore. That's what she said. She didn't say what she did. She just said that we came up to her and was like, we don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, get out. Like, we don't want to see you. Which pisses me off because, like, who took you under her wing? I did, bitch. Like, how did you meet Travis? Me. So, I'm having head pains. I mean, granted, my head was already hurting, but, like, this isn't helping, but, like, whatever. So, she put Travis and I in a group chat, and she just starts ranting. She's like, I thought about what I did, and I realized what I did was wrong, and I'm sorry. Like, I know I can earn your trust back, just... And was just kind of like, you know, being a little bitch. And at first she was, you know, I thought that it was a sincere apology, and the reason why I'm shaking my head and saying no, that wasn't a sincere apology, is because I was telling my friends what was really happening, and they were agreeing with me. They're like, oh yeah, it'd be one thing if she said blah, 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 blah. And I guess she heard what they said, because that's exactly what my other friend said. And, but me, I thought that maybe, you know what, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, because I know what it was like to be bullied in freshman year, and just wanting some friends and being so desperate to have them, and just, ugh. So I was like, okay, fine. You know, and I know if I could go back in time, I would have been like, bitch, no. And I should have cut her off immediately, but I didn't. So it is what it is. I took her back, and Travis was like, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with her. And I was like, okay, I'll just hang out with her and you separately. And I guess Travis kind of branched off. Like, he still kept contact with me and the other friends, but he just kind of branched off and found his own group, which is very not like him, because he was one of those people that just kind of, I know you guys, so I'm gonna stay with you. But he just kind of took it upon himself to branch off, which I was like, yeah, man, like, good for you, kind of thing, you know? And he met one friend that I actually did have in my physical science class, and I am still friends with her to this day, and I met her through him, which is really cool. And so I kind of started hanging out with them as well. And we were just like, we were like 5 peas in a pod, you know? I would hang out with them during breakfast, and then I'd go hang out with my other group during lunch. And Travis would stay with them. He'd sit with them during breakfast and lunch, and then he'd only come with me if A wasn't there. And so he'd be like, is A absent? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd be like, then yes, I'll come with you. He fucking despised her, man, and I don't blame him. I despise her now too. But and it's very, very rare for me to find somebody that I despise, because I'm one of those people where I'm just like, we're all friends. But if I despise you, there is no chance of me ever liking you again. Like, you know, it's like, I'm one of those people where it's just like, I started implementing this new rule in my life. It's called the 3-strike clause. Like, you strike once, but it's like one little strike, and then you're just like, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Then okay, you get another chance. You mess up a second time, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Okay, I'll take you back a third time. You mess up, no sorry is ever gonna let me take you back. Unless you are a better person when I leave you, and it's just, you know, I like to keep my planet very taken care of, like a nice beautiful garden. But if somebody's having a problem keeping their stuff nice and neat, and I've tried to help them more than once, then I think it's time to kick them off my planet. And I mean, I know that that's very harsh for me to say. It's just kind of like, you know, if you don't make an effort to kind of, you know, like, if you don't make an effort to become a better person, then, like, what's, you know, it's just kind of like, I have a couple of those friends where I could say, like, the sun is shining, and they're like, it's going to explode. And I'm just like, okay, let's find something else. Like, you know, I just kind of move on. Like, I'm just one of those people where I'm just like, I'm always happy. It's such a nice day. And my other friend is like, the sun's going to explode. I'm like, but that's not for a while now, is it? Let's go on a walk. But A was not like that. A was just like, you know, this is how I believe. This is like, I don't even know where to begin with this girl. But so what made me despise her was, I've given her the 3 strikes time and time again, but she has managed to manipulate me enough that she had 11 strikes, and that's what fucks me up about this whole situation. Is like, she was so manipulative, and she just had a way with words and a way of talking to you, and just, she can freaking look at you with a smile, and you're just like, I want to be her friend. Like, that's how she operates, you know. So, the thing about A is, like, so I took her back, and then the rest of the group had to put up with her because of me, and I felt really bad. I still feel really bad about that. I thought that they liked her too, but no, it was just, they were all pretending, because I was always like, and they didn't want to make me not like that. But, and I wasn't even, like, mentally, I was like, but I'm too nice to show that, so. So, anyways, there was another thing that she did, and she's done so many things that I'm just like, okay, wait, when did she do that? You never have one of those people where, like, they fuck up so many times that you just kind of, but the one thing that I will not forget is like what lead me to despise her. So what lead me to despise her after time and time again of trying to talk to Travis and trying to take him back and manipulate him back. What I admire about Travis is once he's done with you, he's done. Like, there is no way of trying to talk to him and be like, be my friend, please, please, be my friend. If anything, he's just gonna think you're annoying. Like, just, if anything, let him come to you. Like, that's the best thing you can do for him. So she would try to talk to him and he'd just, like, she's right here talking to him from like behind and he's just still talking to his friends. Like, she could be like, Travis, I'm so sorry, can you pass the ketchup? Like, full on, just like, I didn't hear anything. And then I'm always just like, you know what I mean? Like, I love how he's able to do that. I am too nice for that. I just feel so rude. Like, I was raised a different way and just, yeah. So she eventually stopped trying with him, and then, like, I was always the one that would sit there and listen. I would mentally roll my eyes. I'd give her advice and she wouldn't take it. You know, like, ugh. It could be something like, you know, my shoes are untied. Then tie them. I'm just gonna wear sandals. I find it so annoying when people do that. It's just like, you know, if you're gonna ask me for advice, then like fucking take my advice instead of just, nah, like, what was the purpose of asking me for advice if you're not even gonna... So, ugh. That's like giving somebody a bottle of water and then they take the bottle of water and spit in the water and then give it back to you. That's like, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I mean what I'm saying. Whatever I'm saying, I mean what I'm saying, and it's pissing me off. But, so I finally was so sick and tired of her shit that I would just sit wherever Travis is gonna sit. And Travis is not a very happy person, like, at all. Travis is very stoic, and a lot of the times he's depressed and he doesn't know why. He is definitely depressed and suffering from depression, and it's really sad to see him that way. And I try my best, everybody tries their best to make him laugh and try to talk about whatever he likes, to talk about. I'm telling you this because it's very important for this next part. So, A walks up to me and she's like, hey man, like, how come you stopped hanging out with us in the group? And at first I was like, cause I'm sick of your shit. But I didn't want to say that. I was just like, you know, oh, you know, the group has gotten really big and some people are standing, which wasn't a lie. Like, that was the truth. I just didn't tell her the whole truth. There were two parts of that. One, I was sick of her shit, and two, I was getting claustrophobic and everybody was sitting like this and eating like to not like elbow people in the face. They had to like go like this, and I don't like that. So I just kind of would go check on both groups. Like, I'd eat my food with Travis and then I'd kind of wander and talk to everybody else and then be like, okay, and then just kind of go back and forth. Like, that's what I would do for lunch. But it got to the point where by the time I was done eating, the bell was ringing. So I wasn't able to do that most of the time. So in her opinion, I just kind of stopped showing up. And yeah. So I told her that it was just because people were standing and I didn't like that. So she was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to tell you this, but yeah, never mind. And when somebody says, I didn't want to tell you this, but I have anxiety, like, that's not what you should do to somebody with anxiety. So now I want to know, and if you don't tell me, I'm going to get anxious as fuck, and I'm going to have an anxiety attack, and then it will turn into a panic attack, and it's just not good. So I was like, what? You weren't going to tell me what? And she's like, nah, I think it's best to not tell you. And I'm starting to hyperventilate. I'm like, what? What? Just tell me. And she's like, okay. But the group said that you're annoying and that they're glad that you left and you'd start drama and it's just easier if you stay over there with Travis. And I'm like, okay, I'll talk to them. And she's like, well, I just didn't want to tell you. You didn't hear it from me. So that's when I should have known that something was wrong, and I think I kind of did. I just kind of wanted to prove it to myself, you know? So I went to talk to them the next day, and they were all hanging out by the library, and I was like, perfect, I wanted to see you guys. And they're like, what's up? And I said, so A tells me that, you know, she tells me that I'm annoying and that you said all of this stuff about me, and I was just wondering if it was true. And if it was, whatever I did, I'm sorry, but I would prefer if you say it to my face, because I'm not gonna hate you. If anything, I'd understand. I get annoyed at myself, so I totally get it. And they're like, the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, what? And they're like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. And they were just, okay, yes, we said that, but we only said that you start drama because she was coming up to us and telling us that you were starting all of these rumors about every single one of us in the group. And I just kind of looked at them like this. I was like, does that sound like me? Honestly, like, does that sound like me? Like, if I love every single one of you. I love that you are I love that how you express yourself. I love the way you talk. And I was just saying what I love about everybody in the circle. And I was like, I would never spread rumors about you guys. Like, I love you guys. And if you ever tell me I start drama again, I was like, if you tell anybody that I start drama, because I don't, we're gonna have issues. And they're like, okay, we believe you. We shouldn't have believed A, and we're so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. A kind of has that charm over everybody to believe anything she says. She could say the sky is red, and they'd be like, well, shit, the sky is red. She's just one of those people. And so I was like, you know what, it's fine. I gave them a hug. We were cool. And so I was like, I'm gonna go sit with Travis and update Travis to let him know that she might start shit. And they're like, okay, cool. So I go over to Travis, and she's whispering in his ear. And Travis is looking very, like, I could see a single tear. And I'm like, shit, what is she telling him? And I was like, hey, what are you telling him? And she was just like, oh, I just decided that it was time for me to be honest with him too. And I was like, about what? And she said, well, the group says that it'd be better if you kill yourself. That made me mad. I am fuming at this point, because I knew for a fact that she was lying about the stuff that she was telling the group about me, and that she was lying to me about what the group was supposedly saying to me. So I knew for a fact that she was just trying to start shit, and it pissed me off. Like, why would you tell somebody who is clearly depressed and who you know is depressed and who talks about that shit constantly? Why would you tell him that it's better for him to do that to himself? Like, are you okay? Are you high? Are you drunk? Are you mentally ill? Breathing exercises. I'm like shaking at this point. Like, ugh, I hate that. I have goosebumps. I'm like, my pounding head is throbbing at this point, but like, so, and now my stepmom's gonna come in here and tell me to shut up. So, I gave Travis a hug, and I was telling him like what they told me. And then the whole entire time, A's just like, I just thought it'd be best to let you know. Love you. And then walked away. And I was that was that very moment that I decided to cut her out of my life. I was like, no, this shit is done. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this shit. I'm so sick and tired of, like, being somebody's friend as a chore. Like, I'm so done with that. Like, you can say whatever you want to say about me, but fine. But if you ever... This story still pisses me off, and it's still like, and I mean, it happened like 5 months ago, and it's still like, I'm so mad as if it just happened, like, honestly. So he goes up to the group, and the group starts sobbing. Like, everybody in the group started crying, and they're like, we would never say that about you. Like, we love you. You are so funny. You make us laugh when we've all had a horrible day. Like, come here. Like, so they all did a group hug, and then I told And then during lunch, I told Travis what she was saying about me, and he goes up to the group again. And then he comes back to the table and he's like, no, she was lying. And that moment, I don't know why, I just kind of was like, okay, this shit ends now. So I put my hair up, I took my earrings out, I told Travis to hold these, and Travis has been waiting for this moment. So he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I'll hold them. And I know that she was a freshman, but in that moment I didn't care. Like, I was like, no, we're done. So I walk up to her, and she's by the table trying to do her little shit. And I'm like, what the fuck were you saying about me? And what the fuck were you ever saying about him? If you ever. And she's like, no, listen. I was telling. She sounds like that fucking fairy off of that video game. Like, I'm so mad that I can't even remember. But that's exactly what she sounded like. You know, that, hey, listen, hey, listen, hey. That's exactly what she sounded like at that moment. And I was like, what? And she's like, I look like a chihuahua when I'm mad. So this was like, it would have been like chihuahua against chihuahua. But like, it was just so funny. It was like no, it would have been more like Chihuahua versus Shih Tzu. But I'm over here just like, what? And she's like, I said the tables around us. And I was like, no, you said fucking Nathan, Charlize, Taylor. I'm not proud of this moment. I'm just laughing at myself out of like embarrassment, because I'm not. If I was ever trying to fight somebody, I'd get my ass kicked. Honestly, like, I can't even open a water bottle. Like, I can't even open a 2-liter of soda. Like, I can't even open a Pepsi wearing false nails. How the fuck am I gonna? I don't know. I think that she didn't know how to fight. Like, she even admitted, like, I don't know how to fight. I was like, okay, well, at least I got a chance in this moment, you know? And I would never try to fight a kid, like, but she was a freshman and she was trying to act like a senior, so fine, you know? And in this moment, if I could go back in time, I would just be like, we're just gonna let it go, you know? But I was so mad. Like, ugh. So, I was so close to hitting her. I was like, you know what, bitch? And I was like, but then something inside me said, bitch, you want to graduate. You are a couple days away from walking down the thing. You want to walk at graduation. So I was like this. I was like, you know what? You're not worth it. And I flipped my hair and walked away. And then freaking Travis holding my earrings, he's like, you didn't hit her. What the hell was that? And I'm like, I want to walk at graduation. And there's this girl behind me. She goes, kick her ass, girl, kick her ass. And I was like, I want to graduate. I want to walk at graduation, though. And she goes, you're right. And it sits back down. And so, there were a lot of my friends that were like, are you okay? Like, are you good? I get so mad sometimes that I cry. Sometimes I get so mad that I'm, like, sobbing. And I'm, like, just so, like, and people think that I'm sad or I got my feelings hurt, but in reality, I'm trying not to beat your ass. Like, I'm over here just like, so they're like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. I should have hit her. I'm like, I should have hit her. And then they're like, freaking Travis is trying to like rub my shoulders, and I was like, don't touch me. And he's like, everybody was like, she is gone. Like, so the reason why this is still affecting me is because fast forward to like a couple nights ago, she, I guess, still had my number in her phone, and she decided that it would be cool to apologize. And there's nothing wrong with apologizing, and like, you know, I would have listened and been like, okay, that's really big of you. So I'm like, I still have her contact, like, my phone has this thing where it's like, even if I delete the contact, it will still say like who the contact was, so it still displayed her name. And then when we were still fighting, I changed it to bitch, and so I get a phone call from bitch, and I know it was her, and I picked it up, and usually I'm like, hello, and if it's somebody I'm fighting with, I'm like, hello, but for her, I was just like, what? I was like, what? And she's like, I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry for what I said, and I know that it was wrong of me, and you just tried to help me, and I'm so sorry. I was just jealous, and blah, 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 I'm gonna suck your ass, and I'm over here just like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, high school's over, like, it's fine. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's okay. Really? Great, I'm so glad we're friends again. Bitch, all I said was that it was okay. I didn't say we were friends again. So, we started talking, and when she said I'm so glad we're friends again, I was just like, because I didn't want to say, whoa, you know, and just, I'm not that mean. So I'm like, I'm just like, And so then she calls, and then we're still like, and then she said something about how she hates the hashtag #MeToo movement. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what happened. Like, that's another story for another time, but I did have a very scary experience where that could have been me. And I'm not going to say what happened, but I'm pretty sure some of you were there for that live stream where I talked about it, so some of you know what happened. If you wanted me to tell you a story about that, I definitely could, because it can help a lot of girls with that moment and with things like that. Like, it could just be a very valuable lesson. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But if you want me to talk about it, I definitely can. So anyway, she said like, I really hate the hashtag #MeToo movement. What? And she was like, yeah, I don't know, like, if it happened to you like 40 years ago, then what is the difference it makes? Then what's the difference that makes? Are you fucking kidding me? I was so mad at that moment. Like, my hands were shaking. Like, there was... Hello? What the fuck? All I could muster was a what the fuck. And she was like, I mean, you heard me. I just feel like, you know what? No. That could have been me. What? So I told her what happened, and all you need to know is that I was a foreign exchange student, and it happened in a car, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. So she was like, the one response that pissed me off, I was expecting like a, you know, not even an I'm sorry that happened, just kind of like a, okay, I'm sorry, I had no idea, or something like that, you know, but no, just a, okay, well, it was one incident. An incident that fucking affected me. Ugh, I can't even walk that certain street at night. I can't even. And the messed up part is it happened right in front of my house. So I can't even go out of my house at night without getting scared. I can't see a car the same fucking color without getting scared and thinking back to that night. I still have nightmares about that. And you mean to tell me... Hang on. Okay, so I told her that, and I'm screaming at her, and she's like, well, like, I'm not screaming at her because my stepmom was working, but I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like talking to her like that, but she could tell I was mad. And so she said something about how, like, you know, I call you to make amends and you're over here screaming at me and making me feel like such a terrible person. Well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you kind of are a terrible person. And I'm not proud of what I said okay, I'm not proud of what I said next. But I don't know if I even said this in this video, but she used to tell me about how her father used to hit her mom and her because he had schizophrenia. And then when they called the cops on him, he kind of fled the scene and nobody's seen him, but they did get a restraining order on him and moved to another state. This one, of course. And so me being really mad, I say things I don't mean, especially when you don't let me walk away. If you don't let me walk away, if you don't let me hang up when I need to, I will say some really hurtful shit that I do not mean. So I feel so bad for what I said at this point, but you can unsubscribe if you want to because I'm a terrible person, I'm aware. But she was like, you know, so I was like, you know why people hated you? And she's like, and I told her that, you know, I was like, I was a freshman girl that used to get bullied all the time, so I felt bad for you, and I took you under my wing, and how do you thank us? By spreading a bunch of rumors about us. And she's like, oh my god, you're still on that? You need to grow up. And I was like, no, you need to grow up. I didn't start spreading rumors about people that tried to help me. And she's like, well, I apologized. Yeah, tonight you didn't apologize. When you made Travis cry, you didn't apologize. When you freaking made the whole entire group cry, you hurt a lot of people, eh? You hurt a lot of people and you don't even fucking care. So I was like, you know what? I do have to grow up because tomorrow I have something to do tomorrow and I don't need you fucking up my sleep. So why don't you grow up and go find your father? I felt really bad for saying that part, but she wouldn't leave me alone. Like, every time I tried to hang up, she'd be like, well, and then say something else. And she was just trying to get the last laugh. And looking back, I would never say that. I would just be like, why don't you grow up? And then hung up. But when I'm blackout angry and I'm just like, boom, 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 I say stuff that I don't mean to say. And I realized what I said as soon as I said it. And I was like, oh my god, A, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to say that, A. And then she hung up on me. And then I went to sleep. I woke up to a new post on Instagram where she tagged me and said, Mama Chestnut123 is such a horrible person. Like, I had trouble making friends, so she was my friend, and she was a fake friend. She spread a bunch of rumors about me, and then I apologized for what I did. And I called her last night, and she told me that I needed to find my father and that I'm such a terrible person. Don't follow her. Don't subscribe to her channel, which is just so fucking petty. Like, why the fuck would you even pay attention to me? Like, if I made you feel like such a terrible person that much, and you needed to find your, and you needed to fucking, you needed something to do with your life, why did you do that? Like, what's the point? What's the point of that? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, why the fuck would you say that? Why the fuck would anybody need to do that? And then to tag me in it, to actively tag people in it, and then tell them not to subscribe to my channel? Like, who the fuck do you think I am? Do you think I'm that petty to where I, like, count my subscribers? And I'm like, you know how much subscribers I got? Kiss my fucking toes. Like, I still get mad thinking about it, like, and then I called Macy about this incident, and then we both agreed that she'd be sitting on my bed like, this is some good tea, if she was there. But, like, ugh. So I commented, I was just like, you spread a bunch of rumors because you were bored and had nothing better to do. And then I reported her for bullying, and then I reported her for bullying enough times that I got that post taken off, I got that post taken down, and then I got her reported. And then I blocked her, and then she found that she couldn't harass me on Instagram anymore. So then she found me on Snapchat, and then started sending me really rude messages, calling me a bitch, calling me a skank, blah, blah, blah. So I said, you know what? I already graduated. So if you want to fight, we can handle this like adults. And that was just to scare her. I had no intention of going out and fighting a child, you know? But I just wanted her to be like, she is older than me, like, she is bigger than me, like, I need to stop. So I haven't gotten any messages from her again, But if you start getting messages from her telling her about such a horrible person I am, that's not the case. I mean, the only thing that I feel bad about is telling her to find her father, who abandoned her as a child. And well, he didn't necessarily abandon her, he just abused her, but not okay. I am aware of where I went wrong, and I'm sorry. And if you are watching this, fuck you, and I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, but fuck you, and don't harass me, like, just leave me alone. And I hope to God that you grow up and that you see the error of your ways, and that the people that try to help you, don't spread rumors about them. How easy is I need to go. I need to leave. So anyways, yeah. So I love you guys, and again, really quick, I just want